Hello and welcome to the latest Progress Wrestling hype show for chapter 150, When the Man Comes Around. February the 26th from the Electric Ballroom, Camden, London. A historic, milestone chapter 150. And to help me hype up chapter 150 and to talk about Manchester 149, I've got my good friends making his comedy debut last week, I understand, Mr. Mike Mad Dog Angus. How you doing?
Mate, if it's not comedy, it's commentary. And you just never know what I'm going to do. I might be sorting out marriage proposals in the O2 Ritz, Manchester, or anything like that. Like the music, DJing at the old stag do or whatever. You just never know what the Mad Dog is going to organise. But as always, it's wonderful to catch up with you, Jonathan. We've got a lot to talk about today because, as you say, it is the milestone of chapter 150, which is going to be at the Electric Ballroom, February 26th. Tickets are absolutely flying out for this one. If you've not got your tickets yet, get them now, because I do feel like this one is going to be a sellout, and so excited. We've got so much to discuss. But first of all, Jonas, take us away. Let's speak about Manchester. What happened at Establish Your Love?
Establish Your Love. Absolutely. And what a show it was. And Mike, we were talking about it before we hit the record button. And of course, we had the return of Simon Miller as the MC, back as the ring announcer. Of course, SoCal Val did a fantastic job as the ring announcer at 148 in January. And of course, we opened up with a slightly different match that we were expecting. But of course, Ali Catch and Session Moth Martina came out, and Session Moth came out expecting to ref a match, ended up being in it. But this was a fantastic match between, let's be honest, Mike, two of the best performers in the world at the moment, Session Moth Martina, Ali Catch. And like I say, they treated the fans in Manchester to a fantastic opener. But what do you remember about this one? Because like I say, it didn't quite go the way it was originally intended. But in the end, they delivered a fantastic match, didn't they?
Well, exactly. I'd already been to Sports Direct to pick up red and yellow cards and a whistle for Session Moth for a referee in appearance there. But obviously things changed. Even she was expecting to be refereeing.
Yeah.
I believe she'd had a couple of death matches the day before. And, she was still ready to get involved, though, and she took on one of the best in the world with Ali Catch, and they had an absolutely brilliant match. There was a bit of shenanigans in that one. I will warn you, anyone watching it back, it's going to be dropping in the next week or so on demand on Progress, Demand Progress. So make sure to check that out, and you'll see what we're talking about there. But brilliant matchup. Session Moth always brings the high energy, and as soon as she steps out there, Manchester was raving. There were bevies flowing. The Guinness was out and about already.
As you would expect.
Well, exactly. I think that's why Lana Austin didn't want to get involved in this one. I think her quote was on the lines of, "I'm not getting in the ring with those two alcoholics about," or something like that. But they proved what athletes they are, and had an amazing matchup there. So definitely one to watch out for. And of course, Lana Austin will be back in action very soon.
Yeah, and you just mentioned on demand there, but let's say chapter 149, Establish Your Love from Manchester. We'll talk a bit more about it in a minute, but it will be dropping on demand very, very soon. And all you've got to do is go to progresswrestling.com/watch, or just click on the demand progress icon at the top of the screen, and you get 2 weeks free trial. Is that still correct, Mike?
That's true, yeah. 2 weeks free trial, and you should definitely get on there and check it out. There's so many amazing matches on there now, and there's going to be another one coming up, because there was one match on this card which absolutely blew people's minds, and we're going to be speaking about that in just a moment's time, John.
We will indeed. Yeah, and then match number 2 was a tag match involving 4 of the very best female wrestlers in the UK, in Europe, further afield. You had Lizzie Evo there teaming up with Nina Samuels to take on Millie McKenzie and Alexis Falcon, of course. And this match, as you would expect, Mike, was a wild, fast-paced, hard-hitting, but as I said, 4 of the very finest and very best pro wrestlers in the UK there involved in that pretty incredible tag match. And like I say, the fans in Manchester were treated to an awesome match there.
Yeah, exactly. The animosity now between Alexis Falcon and Nina Samuels has reached absolute fever pitch. It's getting towards chaos with them two in the ring together, and the violent levels in this match, I tell you, was very high. And as well, Lizzie Evo had said to Millie McKenzie about messing around. As soon as Lizzie got in the ring with Millie, she got straight back out the ring and did a runner running away from her. So, she said about no messing around, but then too as well, they were getting chased all around the O2 Ritz in Manchester by her there. So, interesting stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. But you can't wait to watch that one back when it drops on demand, of course. And then match number 3. The Nigerian Kaiju, Warren Banks, recently making his return to a Progress ring, going up against Kid Lykos, Full Metal Lykos, no less, in the Manchester O2 Ritz. And those two of the very best performers in the whole of the UK. They put on a fantastic exhibition of pro wrestling for Progress at Chapter 149. And like I say, two of the very finest there, two of the best in the country, going up against one another. Another match that I can't wait to watch back, certainly when it drops on demand.
Yeah, I've been so lucky to sort of see the progression of Warren Banks from really early days in his career, because he after sort of being in Milton Keynes for the first part of his career, he was up at Wrestle Island sort of very early doors, which is on the Wirral where I live, and was lucky enough to see him progress right through the ranks and become the champion there, and then as well to see Lykos more recently, since that match against Chris Brooks, there has really been a change of heart in Kid Lykos, and it's been interesting to see, because I don't think the fans believed it. I certainly don't think I believed it. I always thought there was something coming up different, but it does seem to be that he's turned over a new leaf. He was out to gain respect in Manchester. He wanted to shake Warren Banks' hand and apologise for misdemeanours in the past, and I think the match these guys had, I think he earned Warren's respect there. So I think that's definitely one you want to watch back, because they put on quite a match, those two guys, and very, very interesting. And it's great to see the Nigerian Kaiju Warren Banks back, he hasn't got any ring rust at all, as we suggested the other week. And look, looks absolutely amazing. This guy, there's big things on the cards for Warren Banks in 2023, that's for sure.
Yeah, I am very intrigued about the change of heart with Lykos German, to see how that develops for sure. And then we had this match here, match number 4, Danny Luna teaming up with Raven Creed, and that's kind of a bit of a mismatch pairing, but they have been getting to know each other fairly well over the last few weeks. If you've been checking out Progress's YouTube channel, going up against the Lana Austin Experience, LA Taylor, Sky Smithson, and looks like top tier talent once again involved in another banger of a tag team match. But when the Lana Austin Experience are involved, there's probably going to be some shenanigans here and there, but going up against a formidable team of Raven Creed and Danny Luna, Mike.
Well, in Manchester, I think the Lana Austin Experience caused their own problems, to be honest. But you'll be able to watch that back and see what I mean about that. But Danny Luna and Raven is an interesting team, and Raven was so encouraged by how Danny could face Lana Austin without any issues. Raven's obviously got this sticking point with Lana Austin, but I think tag teaming with Danny Luna has really helped Raven come out of her shell a little bit. And of course, Danny is one of the strongest women in the UK. Seeing some of the stuff she can do in the ring, she's such a powerhouse. And, I think it really encouraged Raven in this one. And it's great to see, the craziness of Raven Creed even more controlled and focused, which makes her even more dangerous. So, looking forward to seeing where these ladies are going to go for the rest of the year and what's going to happen with them. So,
yeah, very absolutely. And you wouldn't expect an individual like Raven Creed to be affected the way she has been with an individual like Lana Austin. But we shall watch with bated breath to see where that develops, especially, Mike, as we get closer to Chapter 150, of course. And then, of course, we spoke about this briefly before we hit the record button, but what many people are saying was possibly the best match of 2023 so far. The 0121, Man Like Doris, Stan Maloney, Leon Slater, and Omari going up against, there we go, CPF, Close Personal Friends. And this was a tremendous 8-man tag match. And the action, as you can see there, with Callum Newman, Leon Slater, just all over the O2 Ritz there in Manchester. And fantastic offense, amazing teamwork. Even Danny Black and Joe Lando looking a bit worse for wear there.
What a selfie that's going to be.
A great opportunity to take a selfie. You're not going to get many opportunities to have a selfie like that, are you? But all 8 guys know that they put on an absolute spectacle, an absolute banger after that one. And as I said, I think a lot of fans, a lot of people within the business are saying that's already a contender for match of the year.
It was just absolutely astonishing. All 8 guys deserve the absolute props for that. It was a brilliant match. Just set a great pace. Brilliant. Just everything about it was so good. I'm so glad that it got changed to being Lucha Rules just before the matchup, which really added to it as well, because it just meant everyone was in play at all parts of the match. And it was just amazing the way it went down, that match. And it's one you've definitely got to see. Omari was absolutely brilliant as always. Leon Slater excelled himself. Darius wrapping it up as he came down, and the driller Dan Maloney sort of commanding things for 0121. And CPF were just all over the show. Stereo Moonsaults again in Manchester, reminiscent of the Super Mob Smash. You can see there Leon Slater. I think he was getting a bit of a helping hand from Darius and Driller at that point to slingshot him into the sky. And you can see, the action went all over the place. And these guys, they knew exactly what had happened there that night, because they did steal the show. And it was absolutely amazing match, one you've definitely got to watch. So Progress on Demand, it's going to be there very soon. Demand Progress, make sure to check it out.
There you go. You've got to have your head on a swivel if you were there in Manchester on Sunday. But like Mike said, you can watch it very soon when it drops on demand. Just go to progresswrestling.com/watch, or just click on the Demand Progress logo at the top of the screen. You cannot go wrong. Worth the price of admission, as they say. And then we had, for the Progress World Tag Team Championships, former tag team champions, the Smoking Aces, Nick Riley and Charlie Sterling, of course, going up against TK and Chuck, the longest reigning tag team champions in Progress history. And what a match, most similar to the previous match, Mike. It went all over the ballroom. It went all through the ropes, outside, into the chairs, into the fans. There was some, daredevil, high-risk maneuvers. And I don't think those 4 individuals will be the same again.
No, I don't think so. And I was so excited for Smoking Aces to be back, but they came back with a very different attitude than what I've seen before. And they were brutal, they were violent. And I tell you what, I think Sunshine Machine and Aces must have saw that match before and thought, what can we do to try and steal the show ourselves? And they went hell for leather, and it was another wild one. And you've got to check it out to see the ending of that one, because there was some stuff in there that I'd never ever seen before in professional wrestling, and I was absolutely astonished to the level of brutality that Smoking Aces brought to Sunshine Machine. And you'll watch it back and you'll see those titles definitely in jeopardy. And make sure to watch and see if they change hands when it's on demand, available to watch very soon.
And as I've said many, many times before, I think Progress delivered the very, very best tag team action in the whole world. They've backed that up to the hilt in 2022, going into 2023. And that's another banger, another tag team classic that you're going to want to see. And like I say, a slightly different attitude to the Smoking Aces this time around. It'll be very interesting to see where that leads. And I think we'll be talking a bit more about them very, very soon. And then, of course, we had Mr. Tate Mayfair's. Now, he really, made a rod for his own back leading into this one, because as we said on the Hype Show too, for Establish Your Love, first of all, he was named in a singles match, and then it was a triple threat. And because he just wouldn't shut up on Twitter, it turned into a 4-way. You know that his 3 individuals, you got 2-bit there, Warhorse, and of course Maggot. They're not the sort of individuals that are going to take any of Tate Mayfair's shenanigans or tomfoolery, but a fantastic, a very entertaining match. And as we said in the Hype Show too, Establish Your Love, you've got 4 of the finest wrestlers, but 4 of the most amazing characters on the scene. That one is going to be worth watching back when it drops on demand.
Yeah, and the Manchester crowd was so behind 2-bit as well. Their local lad, it was great to see him getting some decent support there. It was brilliant, and as well, obviously, everyone was so happy to see Maggot in Manchester. I think it was the first time he performed in Manchester, so great to see the response for him, and as well, Warhorse, obviously. Such a response for those 3 guys, and then warranted was the fact that Tate just got booed out the building.
No less than he deserves, I'm sure.
He caused more havoc for himself again on the microphone, causing trouble. and he, he's caused trouble with the wrong people for too long now, and it's definitely come back to bite him in Manchester. But you'll see what I mean when you get a chance to watch it back. But it was a really, really exciting match, another great matchup, and to see those 4 characters in the ring all together at once was a really great moment. And I know everyone who was there at the O2 Ritz in Manchester had an amazing time. So that's what all matters the most, isn't it? So and as well, John, as I just mentioned, I don't know, we didn't get around to mentioning it earlier, but we did actually establish some love in Manchester because we had a couple who actually, a gentleman who proposed to his fiancée in the ring, which was absolutely, something that, I'd only heard about a couple of days before. It was brought to my attention that somebody wanted to do this, and we managed to, myself and Simon Miller managed to pull it off in quite an interesting fashion, where we managed to get the lady to be in the ring at the right time for this guy to sneak in and get down on one knee, and that clip, it went viral. It was on daily, a few other websites. That was absolutely brilliant to see that got such great coverage. And I know the couple are absolutely really thrilled with what happened there. So I'm glad we managed to help them out with that one. And it was, very romantic moments on there. So we did have some love established at our Valentine's Day show. So that was really nice to see. And got a huge reaction from the crowd. I always worry when anything like that happens, with wrestling fans, they could go one way or the other over anything. But the chance of "she said yes" and everyone banging on the ring was absolutely an amazing moment. And I think everyone there was a few tears being shed around the arena that day. So
congratulations to the happy couple. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. Thanks so much and for joining us and allowing us to help you with that amazing moment. It was really special. Great stuff.
Indeed. And then we had 2 of the finest and very best young talents on the scene. Luke Jacobs, former Progress Atlas champion, of course, going up against Kid Lycos 2. And like I say, that when these 2 are in the ring, there's bound to be amazing action. You're going to get some hard-hitting action from Luke Jacobs. You might get some shenanigans from Kid Lycos 2, but 2 of the very best performers, 2 of the very best workers in the UK at such a young age as well, doing amazing things in, like I say, one of the very top companies such as Progress Wrestling. But you were there on Sunday, Mike. Those 2 delivered as they always do.
They really did. And Luke, it was great to see Luke in his hometown. A shame, obviously, Ethan Allen not able to compete at the moment. We send all our love out to Ethan. But Luke, he absolutely showed up, and, the audience was well and truly behind him. And interestingly as well, Kid Lycos 2, similarly to Kid Lycos, showing a bit of a change in attitude. I'm not sure he's quite as positive as Lycos, but definitely showed a change in attitude. And another amazing match. He easily earns everybody's respect in this one. And, and both guys at the end of this match got a standing ovation from the audience, which was well deserved. They had a match that was almost 20 minutes long, and it was a barn burner. It was absolutely brilliant. And, this show was just absolutely excellent. Top quality wrestling, and one you've got to go back and watch because so enjoyable. The crowd in Manchester were absolutely brilliant as well at the O2 Ritz. Loud right the way through the show and really enjoying themselves, getting involved with everything. And obviously, it was great to see. It was really good banter. And, as well, just this match, another great one. And Luke showing what a standout talent he is. And Lycos too as well. Similarly, brilliant, talented wrestler.
100%. And that match will be dropping very soon. Chapter 140 on Establish Your Love on Demand. Get on it. And then we had our main event, Mike. And this one had been, this particular match has been building from Chapter 148, the last time we were in the Electric Ballroom in Camden. But we talk about the 4 individuals. This has been a long, winding road for all 4 of these. Of course, you had the damn Dirty Dog G Money teaming with former Cara Noir, Tom Dawkins. I had both of those 2 individuals on my podcast very recently, and they spoke about this and the ongoing storyline with the Sovereign Lord, the Vulture of Progress, Spike Trevay, and teaming with his henchman Bullet. And what an incredible tag match it was. One of those that will be remembered for a long, long time, but remembered for, not always good reasons. And of course, you see the Smoking Aces back out there. They're now part of Spike's stable. So a lot of talking points here, especially as we get closer to chapter 150, Mike. And, what sort of mindset, what sort of frame of mind Tom Dawkins is going to be before he has that dare I say it, maybe a final encounter with Spike Trivet. Who knows? But we'll talk about that very, very soon. But it looks like Spike Trivet, he's expanding his stable. He's got reinforcements now in the shape of the Smoking Aces, Charlie Sterling and Nick Riley, of course, as well as the one-man armory Bullet by his side. And, of course, the Progress World Championship. It's a formidable team. And Tom Dawkins, like I say, he's got a lot to think about and maybe a bit of a recovery before Chapter 150 on the 26th.
Yeah, exactly. And just going back to the start of this one, Gene Money was the first person through the curtain when Liam Bestie took over Progress at Chapter 127. He came out in his spacesuit, and what a story he's had, Gene Money. The progression of his his character and this individual coming through, and what a great wrestling talent he is. And to tag with Tom Dawkins here was an interesting one. This match started out like something from the Attitude Era. It was about 10 minutes into the match before we rung the ring bell. And, it was very exciting, interesting. I didn't know where Tom Dawkins could fly so well, but at one point he absolutely flew off the stage onto Bullet with a crossbody, jumped over about 3 rows of the crowd.
Wow.
It was just madness out there. And, it just started off as chaos, and then it ended with chaos as well. And all the way through, the hatred between Spike and Tom Dawkins is absolutely, it's obvious to see. And
Yeah.
Bullet's just one tough bastard, isn't he? He's and the thing with Gene Money is as well, he will never back down from a fight. So this match was absolutely brilliant. A really great tag contest, a really great main event for the people in Manchester. The crowd were hot. They were going wild for this one, and it was all over the place. There was all sorts of the sort of chants you'd expect for Spike. In the north, so the crowd very passionate around some certain topics there. So wrestling's not necessarily the place for that, but I think in this case it was directed at Spike as a character. So I think it's acceptable. But and then you see this at the end. This is how we went off air in Manchester with the Smoking Aces getting involved in Gene and Tom Dawkins' business. But the question I've got to ask is, where is Gene Money at this stage? When Tom Dawkins has been beaten down by 4 people, where is Gene? Because it's not like him to allow something like that to happen. So I was slightly concerned by that, to be honest. But I won't give away what actually happened in the match itself, because all that photo shows is what happened at the end of the show, but it doesn't necessarily tell the full story there. So
you make a good point.
I think, look forward to watching that back and seeing that. And I want to figure out what happened with Gene. Perhaps he'd been wiped out outside. I can't quite remember, but I feel like he could have possibly helped Tom out in that situation. But maybe he's been the wiser man, avoiding a beating by 4 different people there, which could be the case.
Interesting, very interesting. But so I'm sure when Chapter 149, Establish Your Love from the O2 Ritz in Manchester, drops on demand, you'll be able to check it all out yourself. We've spoken about a fantastic show there in Manchester. I can't wait to check it out again myself. Just go to progresswrestling.com/watch, or just go to progresswrestling.com and click on the Demand Progress icon at the very top. You get 2 weeks free trial. You can't ask better than that. The best indie promotion in the UK and Europe. You can watch all of the action and every single chapter show and all the exclusive shows. And I think the very best of Jimmy has just gone up as well. You've got the best of Walter up there as well, on top of Chapter 149 about to drop. And in a few weeks, Chapter 150 will be on there as well. And we're going to be talking about Chapter 150 very, very soon. But I'm sure that the fans in Manchester are wondering when Progress are going to be back in town. And I do have the answer here. Now, Progress will be there for Chapter 152. April the 28th, as part of For the Love of Wrestling, sponsored by Monopoly Events. And if you go to the For Love of Wrestling website or Monopoly Events, you'll be able to see links there as to where you can get your tickets to see Progress Chapter 152. They will be part of For the Love of Wrestling over that weekend. And Friday the 28th of April at the Bowlers BEC in Manchester, that's where they're going to be. And Mike, I'm sure you're going to be part of that show also.
Yeah, cannot wait. I've obviously been to both of the Full of a Wrestling festivals that we've had. Both been in Liverpool in the past. Both were so much fun. We've had absolutely amazing times there with some of the legends of wrestling. There's been some great guests there. Just last year we had Earl Hebner and Medusa Tatanka all visit the Progress Ring and come and have photographs of all our fans and, do all sorts of bits and bobs. And there's been some, last year as well, Bray Wyatt was there, Braun Strowman, some really big names in the wrestling industry coming to visit the UK. And I believe at this one, for the love of wrestling free, I believe FTR are going to be there.
Wow.
And all sorts of great names, Britt Baker, loads of talent from the past. Demolition are going to be there. So one of my favorite tag teams of all time.
Yeah.
Just going to be so much fun. If you're a wrestling fan, that event is one you definitely want to get along to. Monopoly events, it's such a fun time, and there's not many opportunities where you can go and meet these legends like that. And honestly, I've had so much fun at the other ones. Whether it's just having a glass of wine with the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, or Booker T throwing cheeseburgers around with Booker T. Anything could happen at For the Love of Wrestling, and I'm sure it will. Obviously, we're there on the Friday at Bowlers. I've been to the Bowlers Exhibition Centre before as well. We had WrestleMedia Con there quite a few years back, Jonas, where I believe it was Rev Pro had a show on there, and Impact Wrestling. So I was present at those events, really enjoyed those. And, we're looking forward to putting our show on there for all the great fans who are going to be there for the love of wrestling. And For the Love of Progress is going to be an amazing show. And who knows, some of the guys who are on For the Love of Wrestling might just be there a day early. You just never know your luck. Anyone could show up in Manchester on that night. So, I'll definitely be there.
Absolutely.
Not sure I'm going to wrestle this time, John. I'll have to see who's about.
But just simply go to... if you check out Progress socials, I'm sure they'll have all the details, all the links there, or just go to For the Love of Wrestling or Monopoly Events social pages or website, and you'll be able to get your tickets today. But Mike, speaking of tickets, I want to bring up this slide here, and maybe you can help me out a little. But Progress Wrestling will be going back to America for WrestleMania 39. Progress presents Wrestle Tours, of course, and you can be a part of it. You can get yourself a ticket to the VIP suite for both nights of WrestleMania, the 1st and the 2nd of April. And what does it entail? Not only is it fantastic value, and we'll talk about that in a moment, but you get fantastic VIP access and access to the VIP suites and lounge as well. You'll be there with a lot of the Progress wrestlers that will be on hand in America over that weekend, because there will be a Progress show as well. But for both nights of WrestleMania, you've got SoCal Val that's going to be there. Lana Rostin's going to be there. Mike Mad Dog Angus might even be there as well. Food and drink included. And all you have to pay for both nights to be part of the VIP suites is just $8.99 if you're a UK fan, or if you're already over in the States, $1,099. And Mike, is very, very simple. All you need to do is go to bit.ly/progress USD. If you're an American fan, US dollars. So that's Progress USD. Or if you're flying over from the UK and want to be part of this special package, just go to bit.ly/progress GBP, Great British Pounds. So like I say, fantastic value. And I was speaking to SoCal Val the other day. She said that you can't get one night at WrestleMania for the price of being in a VIP suite for two, with all the added extras, VIP entrance, the VIP lounge, all the Progress stars that are going to be there. SoCal Val, I think she even said that they're even thinking about doing maybe a Gore TV special on the Sunday evening. But Lana Austin, Mike Angus, all the Progress stars will be there. Mike, I'm sure you've got a few words to say about this. What fantastic value it is for wrestling fans that are thinking about going to WrestleMania.
It really is, John, as you know, and I've been to WrestleMania myself in the past. Went to WrestleMania 23 in Detroit and WrestleMania 28 in Miami. What an amazing experience. If you're a professional wrestling fan, you know, you've got to get to the mecca of sports entertainment, which is WrestleMania, at least once. And this opportunity is just amazing. The offer that we've got there is just like nothing I've ever seen. I was looking on StubHub the other week to look at ticket prices. The ticket prices, literally for the suites, to come and enjoy the food and drink and enjoy watching with us guys, is actually sort of half the price compared to the ticket prices in the actual stadium. So, what an absolute bargain. It's a no-brainer. If you can make it over to LA and come and get involved, that is something you're definitely going to want to be involved in. And you've got the added extras, the fact Lana Austin might be there doing a bit of Lana Roki. So
you never know.
And possibly some of the Gore TV team are going to be there. I, of course, will be there myself, looking after people and making sure everyone's having a great time. And Mad Dog always likes to party, so I'm sure we'll be able to have a great time over there and make sure everyone's looked after and really enjoys themselves at WrestleMania. It's going to be a great time, Jonas, and the suites just look so amazing, and the drinks and food that you're going to be able to get while you're enjoying the show. It's just going to be chaos. It's going to be brilliant. Look forward to it so much. And on the road to WrestleMania now, obviously we went to the Hooked on Wrestling events party at the Royal Rumble at the Wembley Box Park the other week, getting to see how the show's starting to build up now. Interesting little interaction this week between Cody Rhodes and Sami Zayn. And then we've got Elimination Chamber on Saturday where we could see a title change. So who knows what's going to happen by the time WrestleMania rolls around on the 1st and 2nd of April. So really looking forward to that. And if you can join us, get involved. If you've got holidays to take from work, this is your chance. Take them. Come and get involved while you can at this price. It's an amazing offer, and we are going to have such an amazing time in LA. It's going to be great stuff. So, get involved.
There we go. And one final time, if you want to get involved, bit.ly Progress USD if you're an American fan, or bit.ly/Progress GBP. It's all running along the bottom of the screen there, but $8.99 if you're traveling over from the UK, $10.99 if you're already over in the States and you want to be part of this fantastic experience. And VIP suite tickets for not just one, but 2 nights, both nights of WrestleMania, VIP access, VIP lounge, all the Progress stars that are going to be there. Lana Austin, SoCal Val, food and drink provided as well. It's a fantastic deal. But Mike, let's talk about what we are here for. Chapter 150, the milestone show from Progress Wrestling, When the Man Comes Around. The 26th of February, from the Electric Ballroom in Camden, London. And what a tremendous show. And it could be the culmination of so many fantastic journeys that we've seen over the last few months, or dare I say it, over the past 12 months in Progress Wrestling. Some fantastic matches. We got to 6 incredible matches that have already been announced to talk about, and the first one of which is this one here, Axel Tisha. And of course, the last time we saw Axel in the ring was up against RKJ, the winner of the Natural Progression Series for 2022. What a tremendous match that was, going up against an amazing veteran of the UK wrestling scene, Mike Bird. And so these two experienced pros, well versed in many styles of pro wrestling. You probably don't have two finer minds of the wrestling business than what you're going to have in the ring on the 26th of Feb. Mike Bird versus Axel. It's going to be a banger. Yeah,
really intriguing contest, this one, because as you mentioned, these guys are both, very well versed and technically trained. Both had huge levels of success in professional wrestling. It's going to be really, really interesting to see who comes out on top in that one. There, obviously, Mike Bird last joined us, I believe it was Cardiff against Spike Trevay, where he had a chance at the Progress Championship, and is very close to his hometown. And that was, what a response he got from the Progress audience. They were cheering him on there, and it'll be interesting to see who picks up the win in that one, because both absolutely gifted athletes, brilliant wrestlers, and it's going to be really exciting.
It really is. Two of the very best going up against one another there. And then, of course, this is going to be a match that has been brewing for quite a while also, Mike. Nina Samuels and Alexis Falcon. They've had a war of words. There's been some exchanges between the two. And, of course, they were involved in that tag match at Chapter 149, Establish Your Love, this past Sunday from Manchester. And I think Alexis has got, a bit of a bone to pick, more than a bone to pick with Nina Samuels. But Nina Samuels has been playing mind games. And these two, I think, are going to have an all-out war when it comes to their match at When the Man Comes Around on the 26th. Mike, looks like an intriguing feud, an intriguing journey that these two have had, and it all comes to a head in the ballroom.
It certainly does, and it all started back at Chapter 145, I believe, Wrestling Witchface, when Alexis managed to get a bit of a bloodbath for Nina Samuels, and possibly embarrassed her a little bit there in that situation. But Nina did get a revenge at unboxing when she sort of strangulated Alexis with that chair and was mocking her as sort of a Disney fandom and everything. And Alexis, it's been brewing since then for these two ladies, and in Manchester they were all over the show. It was vicious, and I cannot wait to see what happens on February 26th between these two, because it is going to be violent, it is going to be brutal, and I don't think the ring's going to be able to contain these two in that one. Chapter 150, this is going to be chaotic, to be fair, and may the best woman win.
Absolutely. And if you want to be there, you can do. There's still tickets remaining in the Electric Ballroom, Camden, London on the 26th of February. All you got to do is go to progresswrestling.com/tickets. It will transport you to the Dice FM app, and you can get your tickets today. It is the milestone 150th chapter for Progress Wrestling, nearly 11 years since its inception. But this fantastic milestone show. And Mike, we are going to talk about 6 matches, but there's more matches yet to be announced. But get your tickets today. Don't be that guy that misses out, because you're going to want to be there for this historic milestone, chapter 150. Now, the next match we need to talk about has been a long time in coming, because this one should have happened last year, Mike. Handshakes and cheeseburgers, if I'm not mistaken. And Nick Wayne, unfortunately, wasn't fit to wrestle on that night. Callum Newman has been waiting very patiently in the wings, and it was announced at Chapter 148 that those two will be going at it finally at the historic Chapter 150, Nick Wayne and Callum Newman. When the man comes around, Nick Wayne, I think, put on one of the most impressive performances when he faced Robbie X last year, Mike. And Callum Newman, he's been setting the UK scene ablaze over the last few years, and most certainly in a Progress ring. Like I say, Sundays would demonstrate that and back that up 100% when the 0121 took on the CPF boys. But these two individuals, two of the hottest, most exciting youngsters in the world of pro wrestling in 2023, they're going to be going at it finally at Chapter 150.
That's right, yeah, meant to originally happen at Chapter 141, as you said, and this is a match that's been so highly anticipated. Obviously, at the last show, Danny Black had an absolute stormer against Leo Rush. That was one that everyone remembers. And then, obviously, at 149, CPF versus 0121 just was amazing. So, this one between these two young men is going to be absolutely incredible. Nick Wayne is such a talent. Obviously he's going to be joining AEW later on in the year. So this is a chance to come and see him in the UK and, see what he can do. He is phenomenal talent, fair generational, and, fighting out of Seattle, Washington. It's going to be such an amazing matchup. And obviously, Prince of Pace, this guy is he's ready. He's ready for the challenge, and these two are not going to disappoint. This is a match I've been looking forward to personally for a long time, and I know a lot of the fans have. If there's no other reason to get a ticket than this, honestly, it's so worth it. It's this matchup itself is just going to be incredible, and you've got to be there to see this one in the flesh, because it's going to be something very, very special. So excited. Looking forward to welcoming Nick Wayne back. And obviously this is Callum. This is a huge opportunity for Callum Newman to stamp his place on the British wrestling scene in the UK.
Oh, yeah. Like I say, that could be a star-making performance for both of those individuals. But before we talk about the next match, I've just got a quick video to play from what happened after this individual's match at Chapter 148 in January. Here we go, Mike.
Now, you guys, I've just come back from a broken wrist, and what a better venue, what a better crowd to come back to than you guys, eh? Now let that be a message to everyone at the back in Progress Wrestling. Ricky Knight Jr. is here this year. This year is going to put my names above everyone else's. Come up here. Come on. Now, Axel, you are one tough son of a bitch. You have been in the ring with the very best this industry has to offer. And sometimes, most of the time, you got the job done. But not tonight. Now, I said this year is going to put my name up there. So if we go back to last time I was here at Progress Wrestling, I won the MPS. Which means I get a title shot whenever I want it. Now, I could do it right now. Or next time we're back here, the 26th of February, not only is it a great day because we're back here, but it's also the best day of the year because it's my birthday. So you heard it here first. Electric Ballroom, February the 26th. Ricky Knight Jr. is cashing in his right to a title shot. And Ricky Knight Jr. is going to be wrestling for the Progress Atlas Championship.
The Atlas Championship?
So Big Damo, you see what I've done to your boy. February the 26th, Ricky Knight Jr. will still remain unpinned, unsubmitted in Progress Wrestling, and Ricky Knight Jr. will walk out and the new Progress Atlas Champion. Because Big effing Damo, if you think you're bad, then Ricky Knight Jr. is worse.
Mike, I said from the moment I saw Ricky Knight Jr. in a Progress ring that one day he would make an amazing Atlas champion with how hard he hits, no nonsense. But, you know, will he be eating some of them words when he does finally face Big Damo on the 26th of February? Because that is going to be an incredible encounter between two formidable opponents, two of the hardest hitting opponents. And we've spoken about a few amazing matches already that's going to be taking place in a couple of weeks' time at Chapter 150. That one, when you talk about matches that, you know, you really look forward to, dream matches, matches you salivate over, that one is up there. And I'm going to bring up the graphic. But tell us what you think about these two, my friend.
Yeah, it certainly is. And Big Damo, what a tough bastard he is as well, you know. And Ricky Knight Jr., another guy, this is just going to be epic, isn't it, to be fair? And it's Ricky's birthday. RKJ could be getting some birthday beats that day, I'll tell you that for sure. And he's hoping to take away that Atlas Championship, but it'll have to be over Big Damo's dead body, to be fair, because Damo is not going to want to be losing that championship to RKJ. And RKJ is going to have to really show how tough he is in that one, and whether he'll be getting a birthday present or not, we'll find out on the day. But yeah, what a matchup it's going to be. And you know, RKJ's match against Axel Tisha was absolutely amazing. His matches against Leon Slater and Mayfair's in the MPS, all great wrestling matches. And I've obviously seen him elsewhere in the country wrestling. Big Damo, we've seen him wrestle all over the world on WWE, obviously. You know, this is going to be something really special. What a treat for the fans in the Electric Ballroom on February 26th.
And how does Simon Miller phrase it? Big men slapping man meat, or words to them effect. I think you know what I'm trying to say. That match is going to be amazing. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one. Big fan of the Atlas division. You got an amazing champion at the moment in the form of Big Damo going up against a very credible RKJ. And like I say, he's been unpinned, unsubmitted, undefeated in a Progress ring. That's going to be incredible. But what was incredible back in January 148, start spreading the news, was this man here, Lio Rush, making his Progress Wrestling debut. And I've got to be honest, Mike, I've seen a lot of debuts in my 30 plus years of wrestling fandom and my fandom of being Progress, my Progress fandom, but I've probably not seen as good a debut as Lio Rush. And of course, he went up against a phenomenal, the kid without fear, Danny Black. They put on a spectacle, another match of the year contender. But this time round, when the man comes around, Lio Rush has taken on a man like Darius. Man like Darius, one of the very best young up-and-coming pro wrestlers in the world. And say, I daren't call him an up-and-comer because he's winning championships left, right, and centre all over the UK. These two are going to put on an amazing match. So we spoke about that amazing match on Sunday, the 0-1-2-1 versus CPF, and what a match of the year contender that might be come the end of the year. Lio Rush versus Malik Darius. wow, I think not just match of the year, we could be talking about that match for the rest of the decade.
Yeah, the thing about Darius is he's put on absolutely amazing wrestling clinics and wrestling matches over the last year that I've had a good chance to watch him wrestle. And he's absolutely brilliant. He's been the tag champ. He's had chances at titles before. It hasn't been successful, unfortunately. But this one is something different for him because this is something that could put him up to that next level. Could it be when the man like Darius comes around on the 26th of February? We'll find out. Lio Rush was absolutely exemplary on the January show. Absolutely great to have him over, and he was, astronomically good. But Danny Black is an amazing competitor, but man like Darius, I think he's another level at the moment. He's set to be an absolute superstar, but this one's going to be a proving ground for him because if he can defeat Lio Rush, that puts him on a world stage then. But at the moment, it's going to be, Darius has got to get past this guy, and Lio Rush is going to be bringing his A game. So I can't call this one personally, and I think, this is another reason you've got to be there on the day because, Lio Rush, some of the stuff he did in that match against Danny Black, I had never seen before. No. And as you say, being a 30-year-plus fan myself, there was some things in there that I'd never, ever seen. And every match man like Darius has, he just seems to pull something out the bag as well, a new trick or something different that you've not seen before. So this just could be show stealing itself. And, I think this is a huge moment for man like Darius to prove it. Is he a boy or is he the man like Darius? Is he coming round? It's going to be huge for him, this. And, he's part of the 0121, but I always sort of feel like, with the driller about, and Darius is sort of that, I think this is a chance for Darius just to step out and absolutely shine on his own. And he needs to pick up the win in this match. He has to.
Absolutely. With the Lyrical Dragon tour is extending as far as the States very, very soon in 2023. This could be a little bit of a dress rehearsal for that. But as you said, a potential mega star making match for a man like Darius. We know how good, we know how capable Lio Rush is. But a man like Darius, like I say, I think he's going to see this as a bit of a personal challenge, Mike, to be honest with you, and to go up against somebody of the caliber of Lio Rush. If he were to overcome, as you said, this could take him not just to the next level up, but possibly 2 levels up to a world-beating star. But let's not underestimate Lio Rush. Like I say, he is, and I think he proved it in the ballroom in January, one of the best independent wrestlers in the world right now.
Yeah, definitely. And having watched him on WWE in the past, I'm just absolutely gutted that he didn't get more of an opportunity there, when he was on in the good old days. But, he's just such a talent. And, that match is going to be so exciting and so important for both guys because, this could be huge for Darius. Could be absolutely huge. It's a career-defining moment for him if he can pick up a win over Lio Rush. But, Lio is not going to let that happen easily, I'm sure. PROGRESSWrestling.com/tickets is where you need to go right now. Right now. Just watch the end of this first, and then right now go and get your tickets. You're not going to want to miss that one. And then we have this one here, Mike. Spike Trivet, the Progress World Champion, going up against Tom Dawkins. The stipulation, I'm going to read it straight from the screen there. If Tom wins, Cara Noir is back. If he loses, he has to leave Progress for good. And, Tom, Cara carried Progress through the dark days of the Peckham era, through the hardest time in pro wrestling, through the hardest time in Progress's history. I spoke to Tom on my show a few weeks back, and he was very frank and very open and honest about what a tough task that was, being the figurehead behind Progress when there were no fans, and how the lion's share of his defenses was in front of no fans. But he carried Progress on his back. And then, of course, 2022, Spike came around. We had that amazing match at Super Strong Style Day 2 last year, one of the most brutal, brutal matches I've ever seen. And since then, Cara Noir has been off our TV screens, out of our wrestling ring. We've had Tom Dawkins, and like I say, there's been this thing missing from Tom Dawkins's game, and I think a lot of that has been played out in the mind games from Spike, and the brutality from Spike and Bullet.
And now, of course, you've got the Smoking Aces thrown into the mix. So there's a lot of different directions that this match can go. Still a lot of legs in this storyline. But February 26th is where you need to be to see how it all unfolds. Spike Trivet, Tom Dawkins, a lot on the line here, Mike. What do you say?
Absolutely huge matchup, and it is going to be when the man comes around. Who is going to be the man in Progress Wrestling? Will it be Spike Trivet or will it be Tom Dawkins? And will Tom get Cara Noir back? Will it happen? It's something we've been watching at Progress for a long time, and it's this is Tom's chance. This is his final chance to get Cara Noir back. And then if Cara Noir comes back, what happens then? This is so intriguing. But Spike Trivet, he's done everything he can to try and eliminate Tom Dawkins from Progress Wrestling. And this is the one, this is his chance as well.
There's no redos. This is it. There's no redos.
Exactly. And this is his chance to finally get rid of Tom Dawkins from Progress for good. And that is exactly what Spike Trivet wants. He's he's a vicious character. He's the vulture, the sovereign lord of Progress. And this is what he wants. He wants to just get rid of Tom Dawkins. The fans are there for Tom. They love Tom and they love Cara Noir.
Absolutely.
Could we see Cara back, or will Spike prevail? We've seen Spike prevail a heck of a lot of times, Jonas. He's by hook or by crook. He's pulled it off each time recently. But this is massive, and this is Tom Dawkins' chance. This is it. We're going to see
this is his final chance.
February 26th. Well, exactly. And, it's all going to go down when the man comes around February 26th. Last chance to get tickets coming up. Get your tickets. It's going to be special. Chapter 150, monumental moment. And, that's one that I just cannot wait to see. Cannot wait to see what happens there. It's going to be so compelling and, amazing stuff. Look forward to it so much.
Absolutely. So an incredible card, and still more matches to be announced. Just stay tuned to Progress Wrestling socials and the YouTube channel for more matches to be announced, because we've only mentioned 6 of them. I'm sure it's going to be a bigger card on the day, and you need to be there. Chapter 150, a historic, a monumental milestone occasion for Progress Wrestling and for British wrestling as well, and you need to be there. Help us pack out the Electric Ballroom on the 26th of February. We've spoken about 6 amazing matches. I'm going to quickly go through them again, because just to recap, what an incredible card it is. Axel versus Mike Bird. That's going to be an amazing match between 2 of the finest, most experienced pros in the game. Nina Samuels and Lexis Falcon. This has been one of the hottest feuds of the last few months in a Progress ring. You're not going to want to miss that one. The match that never took place in 2022, you can have your chance to see it in a ring in 2023 when the man comes around. Chapter 150, Nick Wayne versus Callum Newman, 2 of the best, brightest, most exciting young stars on the worldwide stage in 2023. And then for the Atlas Championship, RKJ, he calls his shot after winning last year's NPS, and Big Damo is the man that he's calling it against, hoping to walk away as the Atlas title champion. But it won't be as easy as that when Big Damo's standing across the ring from you. And then, of course, we've got Leo Rush making his return to a Progress ring against man like DeReese. And will this be a career-defining match for man like DeReese? Or will Leo Rush show why he's one of the very best in the world right now? And then, of course, we got when the man comes around, Tom Dawkins versus Spike. If Tom wins, then he's got Cara Noir back. If he loses, we will never see him in a Progress ring again. ProgressWrestling.com/tickets. Get your tickets today. And we got one more thing to talk about, and that's very, very briefly. Get your tickets for the Dome, Tufnell Park, March the 7th. G Money's Daft Lad Emporium. It's a show about a wrestling show, Mike, and I know we're going to do a separate little hype show to promote that in the coming days, but March the 7th, that's going to be fun. It's going to be unlike any wrestling show I think we've ever had in a Progress ring before.
I don't know what to think about this one, I'll be honest with you. I saw Gene talking to Bestie the other day, and Bestie's entrusted him with running this show and putting it on at the Dome in Tufnell Park on March 7th. I really don't know what to expect from it. My concerns are coming from the fact that when Bestie was running through the list of things you need to run a good wrestling show. Gene
seems overwhelmed.
Wrestlers for the show, and that was about it. I think he did ask me to be involved in the show this week, which is going to be helpful because we'll have the production equipment and all the stuff we need to run a show. So I hope he's got the ring sorted. The Dome at Tufnell Park is a tough venue to get the ring set up in anyway, so I'm hoping he's got ring crew because I've had to carry that ring up the steps in there before, and it was a tough day's labour. That one, I tell you, setting the ring up in there. So I'm hoping we've got a few bodies to help us get set up. But I don't know if Gene knows about these things or if he's thought about these side aspects of what we're doing to put on a show. I hope he knows what's going on. I think I'm going to give him a call a little bit later on tonight and just check.
That's a good idea
because there's a lot of stuff that goes into running a show that I hope Gene knows. I think he should know. He should know. But
if anybody can pull it off, I'm sure that damn dirty dog can. It's going to be a fantastic show, a show unlike any you've ever seen before. It's a show about a wrestling show. It's Gene Money's Daft Lad Emporium. But Mike, as always, it's been amazing. It's been a pleasure. We spoke about Chapter 149, Establish Your Love from Manchester. What a fantastic show. That'll be dropping on demand very, very soon. Just go to progresswrestling.com/watch or just click on the Demand Progress icon at the very top of the screen. We spoke about Chapter 150, which will be happening in a couple of Sundays' time. Sunday, the 26th of February, from the spiritual home of Progress, the Electric Ballroom in Camden. 6 amazing matches have been announced already, many more to come. And then, of course, get your tickets for G Money's Daft Lad Emporium. But from Johners with a wonky head and Mike Mad Dog Angus, it's been a pleasure as always, Mike.
Mate, get your tickets now for the 26th. It's going to be crazy. And once again, a big thank you to everyone who came to Manchester. We had an amazing time in Manchester. So good. And as always, Jonas, thank you so much for having me on. Great to chat to you and catch up. And, looking forward to this show so much. It's going to be amazing. Make sure you're there. And I'll see you all soon, everybody. Thank you so much.
We'll see you in Camden.